Hey guys, Sean Little, Vapor Trail Tactical. So just want to cover zeroing your carbine. So typically you guys get your spiffy new carbine, or you rebuild your carbine, or you change something, or like in my case, this is an older gun that's been rebuilt, but it's got a new optic on it. So and typically when you go pick this thing up at your local gun store, they're like, yeah, we zeroed it for you. It should be good to go at 100 yards. And you're like, okay, awesome. So you take it out to the range, and guess what? You ain't zeroed. So we're going to demonstrate a little different way to zero. I'm going to do the 100-yard zero first to see if I'm even on paper. Just mounted this scope and got it all on there without doing any kind of a bore sight or anything. So this probably is not going to be very close. If it is, that's great. If not, then I'm not going to worry about it. So got a different way of fixing that. So all right, so got my 100-yard target set up, a 2 MOA dot, big background. So typically when you go to your local outdoor, indoor range or whatever, they just give you like a small piece of paper, right? And you're like, hey, you're zeroed. You're going to shoot on your regular target, and we'll see if we're even close to the 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. Let's go down and take a look, see what we got. All right, so coming up to this, and guess what? We got no impacts on target. What a surprise, all right? So we're gonna set up another target, and we're gonna do the CQB Zero. All right, so I set up another little target, and if you look at this target, it's got a small, kind of a big dot on top, like a 1 MOA dot on top, and a 0.5 MOA dot on the bottom. This is approximately 2 inches, 2.5 inches from the center of this dot to the center of that dot. So 2.5 from the center of this dot to the center of that dot. All right, so what we're gonna do is just simply back up a few yards, and we're gonna fire 2 or 3 rounds to see where we at on this piece of paper, right? So typically your scope or optic is not gonna be this far off, right? But you'll see, if I can get it on paper at close distance, I could just ratchet this thing in here and get it zeroed. All right, so right here at 3 to 5 yards, I'm simply going to do the same thing. I'll fire 3 rounds, and we'll see where I'm at. I'm aiming at the top dot, and impacting on the bottom dot. So there you go. And I don't need 6 power magnification for this. So that dot. That's my 3 rounds right there. Okay. So would have been on an 8.5, 11 piece of paper, right? But I've got several inches to go. Now, the problem with this is your optics, depending on what you have, mils or MOA, right, are 1/4 of an inch increments or 1/3 of an inch increments at 100 yards. Keep in mind, one click, a couple clicks. Now, at this kind of distance, a couple inches doesn't look that far off, right? So, but keep in mind, for every inch is basically a full revolution of my scope. So when I start cranking on this thing from 0, so I want to go left. So I'm going to go left 1 full revolution, right? Actually, I'm going to go 2 because I'm about 3 inches off. So every full revolution is going to move you about 1 inch, right? So, and then I probably need to come up 1 inch. I'm going to leave it where it's at, and we'll see where we're at. Same thing, set up. I've did 2 full revolutions of windage. We'll see where I'm at. All right. So again, it moved me probably to almost 3 inches, right? So that's about 3 inches right there. So I need to go probably 1 full revolution more. And to come down a little bit, I need to come down about a 1/2 revolution, right? To make that 1/2 inch movement. got 10 mils of elevation in this. I'm going to come down 5 and see where I'm at. Okay, my adjustments. Alright, so now I'm just to the right edge of this smaller dot. So probably another 2 mils. And then we'll, one more shot. We'll see where that's at. Pretty good. Just a touch high, but still pretty good. And that was the last round. So I want it being perfect, all right? So 3, 6, 9, 10 rounds. Fire 10 rounds to get it close up zero. We'll see how that pans out at 100 yards. All right, so we're back here at 100 yards. Shooting at the top, 2-inch shooting C. And I'm gonna fire 5 rounds. All right, let's go see what we got. All right, so elevation's pretty on. Windage is still a little off, but still, you could get zeroed off of that at 100 yards if you needed to, right? Just by doing a 5-yard zero. So, although it's not the perfect way of doing things, it's really good for getting close, and you can do this at an indoor range and at least be on paper when you go to further distances. So, anyways, CQB Zero. Keep point of aim, point of impact.